might be hearing it, but there's something going on, and so I just want people not to give up hope.
Well, I just happened to be on my way. I was going to go down after school. I was going to go down to Super Bowl City, they call it, where people were gathering. Anybody get down there?
No.
Yeah, we got down there. A lot of people showed up there, right? The cops. I said on TV,
It's gonna get worse, too,
I've
they
never
say.
seen more global. I think we're getting stronger. They're getting scared, and here we are. I've been there. Here we are again, and a reunion, a revival. I was just say 65 years. I'm trying to do the math, but I can't.
Well, I was sort of reaching back to like the Beat Poets and the movement into the hippie movement.
Goes all the way back to the turn of the century here in San Francisco.
George Sterling.
I asked the right people.
I mean, look at the names of the streets. They're all based on orders of the Masonic Temple, and they were all wizards.
It was Kenneth Rexworth that brought me here in '57, an article in Nation magazine about all these poets starting up in North Beach. He said it's the first bohemian enclave since World War II, he said.
Right.
Sort of all these poets come in. He sort of talked about smoking pot. That's only good to me. He talked about jazz. He talked about free love. He talked about all-night parties. And I said, I'm there. And I put my thumb out, and soon I was.
Yeah.
And this is before the interstate. You just put your thumb out. Somebody pick you up and take you down the road.
Yeah.
And soon I was walking down Grant Avenue. I was walking up Columbus to Grant Avenue, standing in front of City Lights bookstore. I was like 4 or 5 years old. And here was this very guy. He seemed old in the middle age to me, but he's young. He's 94 now. And putting copies of Howl back in the window.
That's right.
And so I went in. Well, here I am, because Rexworth mentioned Howl. And I walked in. Well, I mentioned Howl, but I mentioned City Lights. And I walked in, and well, here I am. And he said, well, you came at a good time. We just got acquitted in the Howl trial the day before. And so they put Howl back in the window. That's what he was doing when I stood there for the first time in Grant and Broadway, right there in front of the City Lights bookstore, and walked in. And I stood for many months. I'd sit there on that spiral staircase. It was just a small place then. It didn't have that. That came later.
Right.
The big with the poetry room and all that. With that spiral. And I used to sit on that staircase, and people would come in. It was before it was world famous. Before it had all come in and constant conversation. It was like higher education. Get high and learn. Because I used to what's now Jack Kerouac, Allie spoke my first doobies.
Right.
With who? With Jack Kerouac. It was 1957.
Right.
By Messenger by day. Beatnik by day and night. It was 1957. And I was in seventh heaven. A non-linear dart on the urban checkerboard. It was a different city then. Any other questions?
How,
go ahead, brother.
how hopeful do you feel right now?
Well,
Many of the greatest minds right now do not feel hopeful at all if they're really honest.
Okay, well, I hope I don't say, but I was thinking,
Years ago.
when he was saying, I was saying, when somebody says, how's it going? And I hear this 10, 20 times, how's it going over there? I say, good enough.
Good enough. Right.
And that means my glass is half full.
Yeah.
If I said could be better, that means my glass is half empty. Good enough is what I say at 78, because I don't have anyway 78, and I see a new generation coming along. It's amazing that the Board of Supervisors passed whether they knew what they were doing it or not. There's all these whereases, and I think on the first poet, radical, revolutionary, to get to since John Ross got one a couple 4 or 5 years ago. He's gone, and they're still here. And so anyway, well, I want to read a couple poems.
Do a couple of poems.
And if you got any questions, I might have some answers. They got answers, and I want to read mine. I've discovered a spiritual path. What? I'm talking about when we're reading all this about Islam and the Sunnis and the Shias battling one another, saying they're oh my goodness, I can just shook my head. But there's a third path called the Sufis. How many people think of the Sufis?
Right.
And you never hear much about this. Occasionally I'm talking about Rumi. I'm talking about Hafiz. I'm talking about peaceful love and understanding. I'm talking about a whole different take on things. Not about chopping off heads. Not about fighting one another. Not about saying this is the only way. Not about some super deity. But of the spirit. And I think it connects with the spirit, my Native American side, the Great Spirit. Not some super deity, as I said. So I have some Rumi I want to read. And then I'll end up with my eclectic poem that you've heard, some of you have heard. And this is from the 15th century, died in about 1437. Jalud Rumi. You know, in Farsi. And he's called first I read this, I said, well, this is amazing poetry from the 15th century. Then I began to understand that this guy's a dervish. I'll tell you something about that in a bit. Dervish is what we are, the Buddhist masters, but among the Sufis, you got dervishes. When I see you, when I think of this in the Islamic context, it casts a really wide net. When I see your face, the stone starts spinning. You appear, all steadying wanders. I lose my place. Water turns pearly, fire ties down and doesn't destroy. In your presence, I don't know what I don't want what I thought I wanted. Those 3 little hanging lamps inside your face. The ancient manuscripts seem like rusty mirrors. You breathe. New shapes appear, and the music of a desire as widespread as spring begins to move like a great wagon. Drive slowly. Some of us walking alongside a lane. Today, like every other day, we wake up empty and frightened. Don't open the door to the study and begin reading. Take on a musical instrument. Let the beauty we love be what we do. There are hundreds of ways to kneel and kiss the ground. In other words, we're always kissing the ground. Jesus, another dervish before, dervish said, be in constant prayer. And the fundamentalists take a no, that means the door between the two worlds. And the Sufis say there are hundreds of ways to kneel and kiss the ground. So we're always kissing and kneeling ground. I said, well, that's it. Up behind ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there's a field. I'll meet you there. When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about. Ideas, language, even the phrase each other doesn't make any sense. In other words, we're all together. All these separations, all these dualisms, like that. The breeze of dawn has secrets to tell you. Don't go back to sleep. You must ask for what you really want. Don't go back to sleep. People are going back and forth across the doorsill where the two worlds meet. The door is round and open. Don't go back to sleep. I'd love to kiss you. The price of kissing is your life. Now my loving is running towards my life shouting, what a bargain. Let's buy it. Daylight, full of small dancing particles, and the one great turning. Our souls are dancing with you. Without feet they dance. Can you see them when I whisper in your ear? They try to say what you are, spiritual or sexual. They wonder about Solomon and all of his wives.